So you're probably affirming a lot, visualizing to get into that feeling of what it's like to have your desires already. Doing a lot of these techniques as a way to manifest your desires. So maybe you're always chanting often or trying to visualize the perfect scene where you're incorporating all the feelings of someone loving you, because deep down you're scared that they don't, or that you're not really lovable without someone constantly confirming it, or you're afraid that they won't manifest in your life. Well, that's like slapping a wallpaper over a crack in your wall. It looks smooth for a minute, but that crack, it's still there. It's still a problem. So it's not about the affirmation or the visualization or getting into the feelings of what you truly desire or picking the correct phrases. It's about how you see yourself. We can get so caught up in this ego self, this bundle of past hurts and beliefs, thinking that we are separate from everyone else. And every time you try to visualize, you affirm from a place of need, of fear, or obsession, you're just enforcing that sense of being cut off from the love that you're chasing. So what is the solution to this? We're going from affirming the stuff to actually resting in it, meaning embodying it. Because here's the deal, you're not this project that needs endless tweaking, okay? You're not a mess of worries that needs fixing. You are whole, connected, totally worthy of love because you are love. This is not something to chant or affirm into existence. It's a truth that you need to wake up to and live out. So instead of asking yourself, well, why don't they love me? Pause and ask yourself. Try to dig into yourself. Look at who is this me that feels it needs love so bad. Hunt for this me. Can you even find a solid, standalone me that needs love? Just notice. This will help you come into a place of completion. It will help you recognize the space that's always been there. You don't find an actual entity called me. And now when you decide to use an affirmation, they're not SOS signals. They're like victory shouts, a recognition that love is already who you are. Not something you gotta beg for, that you have to manifest, that you have to affirm, rewire your neural pathways for your SP to come to you, your specific person to show you love. When you recognize that there is no separation between you and the other, the affirmation stops being about bridging a gap. Now it becomes celebrating what is already real and present. You're not affirming to convince yourself. You're affirming because it's just the truth. It's the revelation of truth. It's not about switching words. It's recognizing that there was never any upset, unlovable me in the first place. This is what helps you stop from hustling for validation to just flowing in your authentic nature as love. This is the place from where those loving states rise up or bubble, and you live out your life from these states. So each time you slip out of these states, remember, pause. Notice that you're just slipped out, that you're in a moment of lack. You don't even have to label it. You're just noticing it. Next, you are noticing the one who is noticing, which is the rest phase, meaning you're just recognizing the qualities of, well, if I'm noticing all this, who is the one noticing me noticing this? This is how you access your true nature, awareness. As you can see, it doesn't require levels of healing, levels of fixing, levels of meditation, or advanced manifester, powerful manifester, beginner manifester. None of that matters. Throw all of that into the trash. And now, as you're noticing the qualities of this awareness, just notice, is it open? Is this awareness clinging on to anything? Is it in a rush to be like, oh my God, my SP is missing. I need him here. I need her here. Let me affirm. This is waste of time. Is it saying any of that? Or does it notice that it's just not a non-issue because all it sees is itself? This is not some saying you have to repeat that all I see is awareness, all I see is awareness, everything is a non-issue. That's not what I'm asking you to do. Because that's, again, another affirmation, another pain in the butt. I don't care about affirmations and fancy words, and neither should you. Neither should you care so much about, is this the right feeling of being the person I desire to be? I mean, come on. You are awareness. Plenty of emotions come up and go. They're all awareness at the end of the day. You are not some static being with like one feeling of, oh, my desire is fulfilled. This is how I feel. It feels differently all the time, which is why I am stressing or getting you to see what is actually important here, which is your noticing, resting in the awareness that you are. This is what even Neville Goddard says is the be still and know I am God. Well, this awareness is God. You being aware of being aware is God. This is you accessing your true nature, which is nothing but awareness, the God self, or consciousness, or love. We don't need those fancy terms. Simply experience this rest phase for yourself. Now, from this phase, if you choose to, if you're inspired to, you may notice that you may not even need any techniques. Don't be surprised. Because once you see that everything is yourself, what is there to use a technique for? It just falls into place because everything is yourself anyway. But in the meantime, if you want to use a technique in the experience phase, after going through the pause, rest, and now you're in the experience phase, then you can go towards an affirmation or go towards visualizing like, well, what is it like to already have my desire? By the way, here's a tip. The scene does not matter. The scene, you can make the scene mean whatever, make it mean whatever you want it to mean. What matters is what implies that you have a desire. The scene can be the same thing for every desire, but its implication can be different each time. For instance, if I'm ecstatic, if I know that my life is going well, the way I drink a sip of water is in a certain way. For instance, if I feel like my life is in shambles, I'm feeling unloved, all I get is worries, all I get is people not texting me, abandoning me, saying I'm too much, then when I pick up the glass of water in my mind, or even physically if I tend to do that, then I drink that sip of water in a different way. I'm encouraging you to notice this, that this is what you already do in your life. Now, if you wish to imagine like a scene for, oh, I am wealthy and prosperous, let's say you're already wealthy and prosperous, then how would it feel to drink a sip of water now from that state? It's naturally different. That sip of water, when you're imagining drinking it, it feels different. So don't obsess over, should I make the scene like this, like that, or the other? The scene does not matter, what it implies does. And so if you're making the scene more elaborate, I guarantee you 99% of the time, it's because you feel like you don't have the thing that you desire, and so that's why you're making it elaborate. And so if you're doing that, I encourage you to go back to the pause phase and then the rest phase. And then you can come into the experience phase. And so if you wish to now use a specific scene to visualize what it feels like to have your desire already, then you'll notice it comes up in like 3 seconds, and then you move about your day because there is no resistance. Or if you wish to use an affirmation from this place that he and I are beautifully partnered, or whatever, we are in a loving relationship, or I'm always loved. Duh, of course I'm loved. If that is your affirmation, now it's just a natural conclusion. It's not something you're forcing. It's not something you're repeating. It's a natural utterance. It's a consequence of applying the rest phase properly. So please do not feel the need to feel a certain set of feelings, because every emotion, ultimately, when you drop the labels, guess what it is? It's awareness. It's you. So emotion can keep changing between neutral, ordinary, ecstatic, amazing, normal. How does it matter? Right? That doesn't matter. What matters is recognizing who you truly are, which is the rest phase, which is the be still and know I am God. And then you glide into the experience phase, like I just shared a few moments ago. And then you'll notice that during your day, sometimes you might need to come back into this pause, rest, experience seeming process a few times. Maybe once, maybe twice. But it's never to make something happen. Now you'll know innately that you're using it simply to acknowledge what is, not to make something happen. When you're acknowledging what is, meaning you're acknowledging your true nature of being fulfilled, of being non-resistant, you are by default walking in a state of love, of wealth, of abundance. And that's what the world will reflect. The world will reflect because it's a celebration. The world is a celebration of who you are being. And so I encourage you to pause, rest, and experience. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.